Good morning, gentlemen, and what a grand morning it is, too. We have just cause for celebration. Galloway and Phelps are sending another fiend to San Quentin. A nice showy trial, and he'll be strapped down with gas seeping into his tiny reptile brain. Now, the fresh business. Galloway and Phelps, the task is at hand. The address is on the hill, north downtown off Fremont Avenue.
You're a modest little person.
Skipper, is the new letter genuine?
Now, boys, we all know how many imbeciles have confessed in a short case.
Too light for my complexion?
What the hell?
Hey, that's that cop.
Yeah, I'm thinking of
like
moving up to 45.
He ran the light on Olympic, and we finally collared him on Temple.
Greetings from sunny California. How's it gonna stop?
Detectives?
Phelps and Galloway, homicide.
Scene is secure. The rest of the patrolmen are going door to door, canvassing for witnesses.
Thanks. Keep me informed.
Will do, Detective.
This looks awfully familiar.
I think that's the impression the boys from the Examiner took with them as well.
There's nothing original under the sun. Why should murder be any different?
What do we have so far?
Not much trace evidence to speak of. Storm blew in around 10 last night, and the rain washed most of it away.
And the body?
Looks like she was tipped out of an automobile from the tire tracks and superficial injuries. Strangled with a length of rope. And for my money, it's triple braid again.
Time of death?
From her temperature, maybe 2 a.m., but it was cold last night.
Usual head injuries?
Blunt force trauma. Knock him over the head, then strangle and mutilate. No message with this one.
At least she was left clothed.
I doubt very much he was concerned with her dignity.
The green silk dress is very distinctive. Any sign of her other shoe?
No. And no handbag or other personal effects.
Doesn't appear to be connected. Our driver and our killer are most likely one and the same. No drag marks. The killer was moving around, surveying the scene. There appears to be a dry cleaning label. Superior Laundry Services, F1363.
Detectives, I've been working the houses across the street and up the block. This lady thinks she has something for us.
Detective Phelps, LAPD.
I'm Mrs. Barton, Catherine Barton. I live just across the way.
Did you see anyone around here last night?
Not last night, but yesterday, early evening, I saw that awful hobo.
Do you have a description?
Tall, gaunt, horribly disfigured. I think he may have had an accident in the war. He's a very scary, angry man.
Any idea where we might find him?
One of the hobo camps around here. He's some kind of hobo leader. They all follow him around.
Thank you, ma'am. You've been a big help.
Of course. Anything I can do to help. I'd hate to think that something so ghastly could happen right here and nothing be done about it.
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
I need an address on Superior Laundry Services.
Just a moment. Superior Laundry Services, 1260 West 1st Street.
Can you track down reports of hobo camps in the vicinity of Signal Hill?
Just a moment, Detective. There's a large camp under the bridge on Grand between Temple and Sunset.
Thanks, ma'am.
KTI Radio presents national news from Washington.
I think we ought to investigate the hobo lead.
Well, if you think we ought to, I guess we ought.
Any Century unit, possible 415 at Alvera Street Plaza, unit animal code 3 identified. Any Century unit, possible 415 at Alvera Street Plaza, unit animal code 3 identified.
11K, go ahead.
11K, roger. Citizen
You're crazy.
If I'm crazy, it's your fault. Running around behind my back. How am I supposed to trust you, goddammit?
Whoa, sir. I think you ought to calm down.
Mind your own goddamn business. Why is everybody always on my case?
Watch it! Whatever you like. Give it up, old man!
Get the bastard.
Car 11K.
Code 4 at Olvera Street, but I'll need an ambulance. Shots fired. Suspect is down.
Roger on your ambulance, 11 King. All units be advised, code 4 at the Alvera Street
At
Plaza.
least the rain stopped. You can change back into those white bucks now.
Watch where you're driving, you maniac!
I fought. Where's my wife? No more cares.
We're looking for a tall man with a disfigured face. Do you know him?
Huh? What? I fought in 2 wars, you know, son. I think I earned some peace and quiet.
The bum isn't here.
Look at these people.
We should follow the lead. These guys can wait. What's your beef with this guy, Phelps?
Guy from the Facebook. Solve that BK.
Slow down!
That's the one. About a week ago, this guy murdered his wife and dumped the body. But that's the cop who put him away.
Are you drunk, mister? Or are you just crap?
Son, you're a couple of slates short of a full read.
Phelps, leave him be.
Message.
Excuse me?
There's no message.
Where?
On the Vic. Last bodies had something written on them. This one didn't.
I'm failing to follow.
Can't be the same guys what I'm saying, right? Before you start trying to link this to Maldonado and all the others.
There are more factors to consider than the messages, Rusty.
This doesn't fit your pattern, Cole. End of conversation. Understand? Whoa there!
Any ideas?
You remember that tag number? Ask the guy, see what he knows.
Phelps and Galloway, LAPD. We're investigating a case, and one of your laundry labels came up. F1363.
If you give me a minute, I'll go find a register and you can take a look.
You take a look for yourself. I've got clothes that need pressing.
You wrote the number down on that dress, is it there?
Mrs. T. Terrellson, 43 Emerald Street, Westlake.
I've got a feeling we're about to meet another wife killer.
You've always got that feeling, Rusty.
Yeah, and it's usually correct.
Please, please, for once, can you not let your assumptions color your detective work?
Just you wait. Nordic types show a particular disposition for this stuff.
Hello? Yes?
Detectives Phelps and Galloway. Is your wife home, sir?
My wife went out last night and she hasn't come home.
Can you describe your wife and what she was wearing?
We were out at a friend's place, Bobby Ross's, for a party. She was kind of dolled up. She had her green silk dress, open-toed white shoes. Those are her favorite shoes.
Can we come in, Mr. Terrellson? I'm afraid we have some rather bad news. Do you have someone who can look after your children, Mr. Terrellson?
I've been trying to arrange a sitter. Look, tell me what's happened.
I'm afraid your wife was murdered last night. Her body was found this morning. We're very sorry for your loss. I know this is a difficult time, Mr. Terrellson, but we are going to need you to answer some questions. First, we're going to take a look around.
What for? You don't think
It's procedure. You see to your girls.
Stay here till Daddy's finished talking to these men.
Where's Mommy?
Everything's gonna be all right, sweetheart.
We would like Mommy to come home now, Daddy.
What's the problem, Terrellson? Let him search. You got nothing to hide. Want to hear something funny, Terrellson? Some bums think filling out a missing persons report.
Not sure this means much. This isn't what we're looking for. Circumstantial.
To check if she was a regular.
I wonder why the picture was turned down.
car again. Someone must be real sweet on this dive.
If you'd excuse me, ladies. So she went out without her handbag? She'd have to be in quite a state to leave this behind. At least she was spared that particular indignity. We can see if Pinker can match the impression of the crime scene.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
Can you run an address for a Bobby Ross? Then send some uniforms over.
Would you like him picked up?
No. Suspect says he was with Ross last night. We need to confirm the alibi.
I'll get a prowl car dispatched.
Thanks.
Whoa! Easy! What's your beef with this guy, Phelps?
You look at this clown.
That's the guy. I heard he's an honest cop. Now that's an oxymoron for you.
For the record, Mr. Tarleton, what is your wife's name?
Teresa.
Do you have any idea why anyone would want to hurt your wife?
No. Everyone loved Teresa. She was so full of life. There can't be anyone who knew her.
I think you're lying, Lars. I think you were mad at your wife for embarrassing you in front of your friends. I think you came back here and strangled her and then dumped her body on the hill.
You think I strangled my wife? How do you expect to prove that?
It's nothing personal. I'm just doing my job. You understand that?
If you have more questions, I'd rather get this over with now.
I'll be out of your way momentarily, ladies. Lars was out in the rain last night. match with the ligature marks. Do you have any idea why anyone would want to hurt your wife?
No. Everyone loved Teresa. She was so full of life. There can't be anyone who knew her.
I think you're lying, Lars. I think you were mad at your wife for embarrassing you in front of your friends. I think you came back here and strangled her and then dumped her body on the hill.
You think I strangled my wife? How do you expect to prove that?
Your wife was strangled with triple braid rope. The bow line from your boat is a perfect match.
Look, I know this looks bad. I'm gonna have to come to terms with the fact that I let her go.
You said you went to a party at Bobby Ross's place?
That's right, Bobby had a bunch of people over. We were having a good time. She said she was bored and decided to leave.
You let your drunk wife leave the party and go off on her own?
Look, I was angry. I was having a good time. She has to go and ruin it. We always have to do what she wants to do. Last night she wanted to go dancing.
Any idea where?
Where she always goes. A bar down on North Beaudry Avenue. Barron's Bar. She goes there, drinks too much, gets maudlin, and calls me. I go and bring her home.
Mr. Terrellson, was Teresa happy at home?
Yeah, I think she was.
Spill it, Terrellson. We like the look of you for this, so you better give us something.
We're at the party. She has a few and says she wants to go out dancing. We only have the sitter until 9. I get mad. I tell her to go ahead, but I'm staying. She storms out. Look, I'm doing well at cards. I hardly ever do well. I married her because she was so much fun, but now she drives me fucking crazy.
What time did she leave the party?
About 8:30, maybe a little earlier.
When was the last time you saw your wife?
Around 8:30. The card game at Bobby's was wrapping up. I played out my hand and drove home here. Paid the sitter and went to bed.
You're lying, Lars. You didn't come straight home, did you?
And how do you figure that?
You were out in the rain. You got soaked, Lars. We found your wet weather gear.
Okay, I stayed a little later than I said. This cute little brunette was hitting on me. Teresa noticed. I was half cut. I walked her home from Bobby's, but nothing happened. I walked back and got the car this morning.
Thanks for answering our questions, Mr. Terrellson. You'll need to go downtown to identify your wife's body.
I should have taken her dancing.
In my experience, Mac, if you give in to broads, you'll be giving in to them your entire life. Sounds like the Terrellson broad had her last drink at Barron's Bar. We should check the place out.
Appreciate your time, sir.
You believe this guy's story?
Kind of rings true.
Car 11K, Car 11 King, come in.
11 King, go ahead.
We have a possible sighting of a tall, disfigured vagrant at the hobo camp on Grand between Temple and Sunset. Use caution. The suspect is wanted in connection with 2 assaults on females.
That's a couple of blocks from the murder scene. Against the rules to drive like this without a siren.
The finest in radio entertainment is on KTI Radio 760. Now, national news.
Officially opening the nationwide March of Dimes campaign in Washington, Mrs. Truman and her daughter Margaret take part in the ceremonies at the Capitol by dropping theirs and the President's dimes in the Missouri Tropics. This Truman later made an appeal for contributions to the infantile paralysis fund drive to replace $7.5 million spent during the severe 1946 epidemic. And in New York, little Nancy Drury with the big cop was once a polio victim, but now she's a pin-up girl for the current campaign, seeking to raise $25 million. Little Miss Drury of Louis...
LAPD, we'd like a word with you.
Save it for someone who's interested. They're fascists. Come to move us on and steal what little we have left.
6 rounds won't get us far.
We need you to stay focused center. We need to hold out in the cavalry.
How do we do that?
Fuck that. Down.
If you want your rightful share, we need to fight.
Stinking red.
What's your name?
Comrade Stalin.
Very funny. We'll find out from your personal effects.
Stuart Ackerman.
You're under suspicion for murder, Ackerman. We're taking you downtown.
You can't do anything more to me than what the Japanese have already done.
The Kremlin's over here, Phelps. Toss it and see what you find.
Still working, Jack. I'm off to the Lighthouse Club in Santa Monica.
Hello, Jack. Mr. Benson, this is Courtney Sheldon. He's a buddy of mine from the war.
Well, I'm sure you two will want to polish some old war stories. Good evening, Jack. Mr. Sheldon.
Good night, sir. Take a seat, Courtney. We need your help, Jack. I told you I would have nothing to do with that.
I'm fine too, Jack. Medical school's going well. I got a part-time job.
Do dope peddlers need part-time jobs?
We made a mistake and we're in trouble, Jack. A local gangster, Mickey Cohen, is putting on the squeeze.
So hand it over, walk away. What's stopping you?
We had a deal with them, that they would dole it out slowly. They said they would supply abortion clinics and doctors, but they've been moving it on to addicts, and they can't cope with the purity.
So your problem is with gangsters being dishonest.
My problem is that people are dying, and that if this gets back to us, we'll all end up in jail.
So how am I supposed to help, Courtney? This isn't the war. I can't just wave a magic wand and clean up your mess.
We want you to negotiate, Jack.
The only thing these guys understand is force, Sheldon. They got to the top back east by proving to be more vicious than the English, the Irish, and the Dutch. They make their own laws. That's the nature of a secret society. God's sake, Courtney, you want to be a doctor. How can you fight with that?
We are better trained, Jack.
I didn't make it through the war to come back to this kind of shit, Sheldon.
Are you drunk, mister, or are you just cracked?
Looks familiar. Safe bet it'll match the mark under Teresa Terrelson's chin.
Ackerman doesn't look like much of a dancer.
Guy from the paper brought that big case.
About a week ago, this guy murdered his wife and dumped the body. But that's the cop who put him
You can drive.
Fine. Where are we headed?
I want to make homicide. I mean,
Going
you know
this
you
way.
made it if you got that desk. Hey, I think those vice boys should have on the side.
Ackerman, you were in the Marines.
How do you know?
The Corps selected big guys for flamethrower duty. That's how you got the burns.
Life expectancy was 5 minutes for a guy in flamethrower detail. What kind of a government puts weight like that on a man's shoulders?
You'll get no argument from me. It was a heavy load.
You feeling sorry for this smelly fuck?
Why did you kill Mrs. Terrellson?
I have no recollection of the people I have killed.
You hate women, Ackerman?
More than you could ever imagine.
How much did you hate Mrs. Terrellson?
I ache to put my seed in them. Afterwards, I have no use for them.
A bus driver dropped Mrs. Terrellson near your camp around 2 a.m. Why did you take her up to the hill?
Which hill? I have many places. I go where I please.
You are clearly insane, Ackerman. The state of California does not execute mental patients.
I don't know the names of the women I've killed, but I've killed many of them. Their necks are so fragile.
Stuart Ackerman, I am charging you with the murder of Teresa Terrellson.
A man down on his luck I can abide. But a filthy red who chooses to live outside the rules of society, I cannot stomach. Maybe poor Teresa Terrellson will provide the catalyst we need. I've spoken to the chief and the mayor, and I think it's time we send some men in to remove the godless and send them on their way over the county line. A grand day that will be, gentlemen. And a grand result you have brought me. You two are fast becoming my finest crusaders.